Hey guys, today we're going to be cleaning the pet room. Hi Peas, my name's Taylor and you're watching Pets in a Pod, and oh my gosh, it is so busy in my life right now. The pet room has gotten kind of out of hand. I've been upkeeping all the animals, they're all very well fed, everyone's taken care of. It's just gotten kind of cluttered, and things aren't as clean and shiny as I usually like to keep them in here, so I figured let's just film it. I'd also like to apologize because I realized I've skipped videos here and there this past month, and that goes along with the busyness. I'm just so busy right now. As a teacher, it's the end of the year, it's the busiest time for me, and so I haven't had the time to sit down and do a video. So I figure let's do double duty. Let me film a video for you guys and also clean the reptile room. I think some of you will enjoy it and just see kind of the day-to-day stuff. So I just want to let you guys know that I may change an outfit here or there as I'm going to be doing this over a couple days just because I'm so busy. So we're going to start by cleaning the floor because Billy has made quite the mess with his hay, and yeah, let's clean the floor. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to start with was cleaning the floor because Billy has made a mess, like I said, and I like to start by picking up the hay and toy and just all the debris by hand, at least the big chunks, because if you've ever owned a rabbit, you know that the vacuum can easily get clogged by hay, so I like to pick up the big chunks to get rid of them and kind of get a head start. But once most of that's out of the way, I do go straight to vacuuming. And before we get too far into this, if you're wondering what the heck I'm wearing, the top was from my work day, so I'm wearing a decently nice top, but then I put on work bottoms, shorts, so I could do cleaning, so I look ridiculous, in case you're wondering, but we're gonna ignore that. And then I vacuum, and I vacuum, and I vacuum. The good news is rabbits themselves are fairly clean, so Billy himself is clean, he just makes a big mess. And when that process is done, I do put some of his toys back out so he has something to play with, but not all of them because I do like to rotate his toys. So what you're seeing on screen is not everything he does have. And then after vacuuming Billy, he did need some new fresh food and water, so I went and I cleaned his water bowl and brought back some fresh water. And I also took his little food bowl away. And I only had arugula because I'm grocery shopping tomorrow, so like I said, I've been busy, but arugula is fine, and so he enjoyed his arugula dinner. Next, the keel belly lizards needed some TLC, and it's been really hot lately and the AC's been on, so the combination of both has just made it really dry and warm in here. And keel bellies actually like it kind of cool and wet, and so although their temperature is okay, their tank is kind of starting to dry out. So I soaked this thing. I soaked all of it with the mister, and then I went back through and used a watering can to soak all of the soil to bring the humidity back up overall. And there are pots throughout the background, so I soaked those all as well, and that should help kind of boost humidity for a couple days and level it back out. They are hooked up to a misting system, but even that's just for the day-to-day. With the warmer weather, like I said, it needed a good soaking, and you could see a little buddy poking out. One of my girls, either Ada or Acro, came to visit. After that, the mister actually needed a refill. Although it wasn't empty, I did have some spare distilled water, and so I figured I would fill that up and get that out of here. And so I'm refilling the mister. And now Meba, my leopard gecko, needs some TLC. You can see her right there in the front, ready. She's not gonna like what I'm about to do though, which is mist her enclosure down. She is a leopard gecko, which is a desert animal, but they do need spikes in humidity here and there, just very little, minimal. And so it's been extremely dry, and I haven't misted her down in quite a while, so today I think was a good day to do that since I'm doing everything else. And so all I do is do just one moist coat across everything. So I don't soak anything, I don't heavily mist in any one area. It's basically I just do one generic spray down because it'll all evaporate pretty much in a couple hours. The only place I do add a little extra water is in the back left corner because that's where her humid hide is basically, and so I just needed to keep her humid hide humid. And then the last thing we're gonna do today is water a couple of the house plants that I have in here. So we're watering my snake plant first on my shelving here, which I haven't featured on this channel yet, so if you see anything you like, let me know. I do love these shelves. It allows me to have a little bit of my personality besides the animals here in this room. There's a couple fossils here, the manga of course, little trinkets, Pokemon, stuff like that. And then we're watering my other plant, which is a philodendron, and I love this plant very much, and so this one's also getting a little watering, and that's where we stopped for today because I ran out of time and I'm tired, guys. And it is now day 2. I just want to say sorry if the audio changes. I am recording this separately on day 2. So I'm a little more appropriately dressed today, but what we're going to start with is my Akki Monitor enclosure. So this is Ryker, and he is currently still in his grow out tank, and so Ryker just needs basically a lot more moisture in his tank right now. So although he is a desert dwelling species, they do prefer moisture in their hides or their burrows, which I do maintain. I try to keep his moisture up in the burrows that he makes, but once the overall kind of humidity and temperature starts to drop, I like to just soak the whole thing to give it a nice refresh, and so the soil is back to being moist. So today's that day. Quite a lot of water went into this, but as you can see me, I'm mixing it in so the whole thing kind of evenly distributes, and he's happy. And anyway, while we're looking at Ryker, an update on him is that he's doing extremely well, still growing, and he's not the size I want him to be yet before moving to his adult enclosure, but I can foresee that happening by the end of the year. So by the end of the year, we should have a video where Ryker moves into his adult enclosure. Now, next we have Sprig. So Sprig was actually the inspiration for this video because Sprig had an extremely dirty front door. Sprig's front cage enclosure door is her favorite spot to poop, and so it was just covered in feces and so gross to look at, and so I'm cleaning it now, and it took me many paper towels, and I'm just using water, and that's it, because I don't feel like there's a need to use any like vinegar or chemicals or anything like that, because I really just am trying to just wipe off the extra debris, and just by doing that alone will make it a lot easier to see in and a lot better looking. On occasion though, every once in a while during the year, I will do like a heavy dutier clean where I do use chemicals to kind of clean, pet safe chemicals of course. But today, we just need to remove all that extra nastiness. And then after that, I mist her enclosure down as well, because she does need a boost in humidity, although not as much. So I'm just doing a generic spray down for her, because her enclosure stays more moist than the others. I also rearranged her plants, and she got some new food, because Sprig loves to eat. She is a big girl, and so today she got some watermelon Pangea for dinner. And then our last enclosure that I'm looking at here is actually Ryker's adult enclosure. So there are no animals in here, but I do like to maintain it because eventually when Sprig moves in, I'd like it to be just maintained and already established and not have to worry about like starting up a new tank in the middle of moving a reptile. So I'm just trying to maintain it. Clearly I've let the plant in front die. That was on purpose. I'm just going to buy a new one fresh once Sprig's ready to move in, so I don't have to spend extra time keeping a plant alive that I don't necessarily need right now, but I do like to keep the enclosure moist just the same way that I do Rikers. So basically it's very dry. I'm just going to moist down the whole thing. And since there is no reptile living here, I'm just basically going to put in a few watering cans of water, and that'll be enough. I'm not going to like mix it in and make sure it's all even and stuff like that, because it's just to keep things going, keep things updated, provide some moisture, and then let it dry out again. And that was pretty much it. And I did a little more vacuuming at the end there, just to clean up. And yeah, so that was the end of day 2, and the pet room is a little prettier now. Alright, and that marks the end of day 2, a little more appropriately dressed today. But yeah, it was long overdue for some cleaning, and the room looks so much better now. And they will all be getting fed in 2 more days, because that's when my next bug shipment arrives, but I don't want to wait any longer to film. So I'm gonna post this cleaning video as is, but let me know in the future if you're ever interested in any feeding videos. I will say too, if you did like this video or you like what you see on this channel, don't forget to subscribe. It's a big help, it's free to you, and I do post videos every Friday, so usually. I know right now is a weird time, but I usually do post videos every Friday, so you'll get a weekly video if you're into this kind of thing. So thanks guys for sticking around. I'll see you next week. Bye.